Hello and welcome back to the wild. Kind of wild, I'm still injured, so I can't really walk around much. So today's fancy pantsy discussion is all about F-Log, an F-Log on the Fujifilm X-H2S, what I'm currently recording on, so enjoy. And yeah, I had a lot of requests off the back of my Fujifilm X-H2S review about F-Log, about filming an F-Log, what it is, how it works, so I thought, all right, I'll do it. I'll give the people what they want. I'll let them eat cake and I'll let them have the F-Log discussion. Let's get on with this and let's see how this goes, but I hope you enjoy. Whee! So what does F-Log mean? Well, the F part means Fuji and the log part means log, and that derives from the word logarithmic, or more importantly, the graph, which describes what's happening with F-Log, but that is a logarithmic function curve. And if you've ever seen an X and Y axis and you see the normal linear regression or progression, this is different. It's an inverse of your exponential function curve, or whatever they're called. But with this inversion or inverse, you get the washed out look of your images. This is why when you shoot in F-Log, it seems undersaturated, the contrasts are low, the shadows are like not there. And there's a reason for this, because when you shoot in F-Log, the camera is then preserving and enhancing your dynamic range and also the tonality in the image, the subject, whatever you were capturing. And I will show you samples of this as I'm talking right now. I will show you some other footage as well, and you will see the difference between your edited or your corrected image and your uncorrected. And you'll see why I'm wearing bright colors, because I want to show you this. I want to show you the difference between the two. So that's what it does. That's what F-Log is. It's a Fuji log, logarithmic function curve, and that inverse reduces saturation, colors, whatever, blah, 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 and enhances and gives you a higher quality dynamic range and finish to your product. That's the purpose of it. I have a headache. Okay, so the next point we're going to touch upon is settings. What settings did I use? So, shot in 4K, 120p. This is done at 24 frames. My slow motion's 120p, obviously. H.265, you want to make sure you do this so you can shoot in 10-bit. That's important, so you get more in color. And if you're going to focus on F-Log, which is about colors, tonality, high dynamic range, shoot with 10-bit. I think my megabits a second, I put at least 200, but I think this is running at 360 right now. So my hard drive is going to have a wonderful time filling up with my face, about probably 200 gigabytes worth once I'm done with this all. And what else have I done? F-Log setting, obviously. You want to shoot F-Log and F-Log, which I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so there's a couple of settings you need to think about. One is your ISO. So there is a base level of ISO with the X-H2S, which is 640. And I believe from my research online and Google, this is because of the high dynamic range. It has to compensate. Something to do with that. I don't know the technicals. If you do, feel free to drop it below. I don't know technicalities. All I know is that is your base. And the other setting is, if you want to, you can apply an F-Log film assist in your settings, where it will show you some kind of correction when viewing your image on your kind of multimedia menu to look at it back. So at least it corrects it a bit for you. You can see if it looks okay. So that's quite handy to have. I've actually turned it off originally, but I put it on and I quite like it. So I've just kept it as that for the minute. So there are two kind of useful settings you want to think about. You can think about your zebra settings. I don't personally like zebra settings. I turn it off. I find them distracting. But again, that's something you can think of if you want to. I'm not bothered. I think that was all my settings. Yeah, so let's crack on with some examples. Yes. Okay, so this just takes me to some of the caveats. I love that word. Caveats of shooting in F-Log. So number one caveat you have to think about is, yes, it is more flexible shooting in F-Log, which is great. The final product is beautiful, but you have to be very careful about your exposure settings and how you go about correcting it afterwards, especially if you are looking on an uncorrected monitor. But with any caveat, ladies and gentlemen, there is always a benefit or a pro or an antidote, and that is LUTs or lookup tables, and you can get a lot of LUTs online. I believe Fuji provides some yourself, but they basically do auto color correction. It's like a preset kind of thing, color correction, which I've used for this just to make it easier, and you get all that balance. So it's worth having a look at lookup tables, and then it's all done for you there, which is a bit easier, I think, personally. So win-win. And finally, as I've touched upon already, in my experience, the F-Log files have been massive, but that might be because I'm shooting in more megabits a second, possibly, I don't know what it is, but they are very big files. And if you already have storage as an issue, it's gonna get worse. It just gets worse, doesn't it? So something to bear in mind. Apart from that, I can't really think of anything else, but I don't really know it that great, so if I think of more stuff, I'll add it below, but I think that's it for the minute. Yes. Okay, that is the finish, the finale. So yes, that is the end. It's very short but sweet. Just a little touch upon F-Log of the X-H2S, how I found using it as a beginner. I hope you found this useful. I hope it gives you a good idea what it looks like on the X-H2S as well, because that was the main thing, because that's the requests I had. I don't know if I use it all the time, but I'm actually having great fun using with it, and actually vlogging on the X-H2S has been really good fun as well. That's what I've been on the whole time. Yeah, anyway, if you've got any questions, do not hesitate to ask. If I've said something wrong, feel free to point it out. People normally do, so it's I don't mind. Yeah, anyway, on that note, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, hope you found it useful. Yeah, stay you, stay awesome, because you are. Stay wild, stay free. And until next time, you incredible people, goodbye for now. Bye-bye.